Thanks, John. Just a reminder, if there are any children in the room, this conversation may not be suitable for young children. In 2010, a new sex education curriculum was introduced by the Ontario Liberal government, then led by Dalton McGuinty. The curriculum was met with much objection by Ontario parents, as it was proposed to cover issues of sexual orientation in grade 3, masturbation in grade 6, and oral and anal sex in grade 7 and 8. Parents spoke loud and clear, and the government decided to pull the curriculum. Well, it's back. Premier Kathleen Wynne, who was the education minister in 2010, is now the new premier. And along with Education Minister Liz Sandals, they plan to reintroduce what some think will be very similar to the sex education curriculum in September of this year. To talk more about this issue, we're joined by MPP Monte McNaughton and Evangelical Fellowship of Canada's Rick Hiemstra. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
So, as a concerned parent, I know when I heard about this curriculum, and I must say that we don't know the extent of what this curriculum, this new curriculum, will entail. But when I heard about this, it got my back up. I was a little concerned. I have a young boy. He's 8 years old. He's in grade 3. And just thinking about what he could possibly be taught about concerns me as a parent, because I think we wonder how much the school should teach and how much parents at home should teach. So Monty, tell me why you decided that you'd take this issue on.
Well, that's a great question. I mean, like millions of parents out there, I'm a parent of a young daughter who will be entering the public education system in a couple of years. So I'm concerned, number one, as a parent. I rose in the legislature in November to ask Kathleen Wynne a couple things. One, why won't she make this new proposed sex education curriculum that's going to be in classrooms of September of this year public? And why won't she seek meaningful consultation with parents across the province? To me, it seems like this is being done under a veil of secrecy, and I just think it's wrong.
And why do you think it's under a veil of secrecy?
Well, I think, you know, we all know there was a huge backlash in 2010. I just don't trust where this government's going to go with this new proposed sex education curriculum. I also come to this with the belief that parents should be first educators in serious matters like sex education.
And Rick, what's the EFC's stance on this?
Well, we're talking about this curriculum because sex isn't mathematics. You know, every major world religion has teachings on sexual ethics and sexual morality, which for us as Christians moves this into the realm of discipleship. This is far bigger than a public health issue. And parents have the primary right to determine the kind of education that children have, and they have a right to be consulted.
I think as a parent as well, my concern is not sex education. I think children need to learn sex education. I think it's the uncertainty of exactly what is going to be taught. Now, Monty, when you're hearing from a lot of parents that are concerned about this, is that kind of the same feeling that they have?
Yeah, the problem here is that the government and the state isn't respecting parents when it comes to this new sex ed curriculum. I've been contacted by thousands of parents across the province. We know that, for example, on the Parents as First Educators petition, PAFE, they've had 30,000 parents sign the petition demanding that there be some sort of public consultation. So that's the concern parents are telling me.
Now, you talk about public consultation. If you talk to Kathleen Wynne and Liz Sandals, they'll say that there has been public consultation. They've sent out surveys to 4,000, I believe, parents, they claim. What are your thoughts on that, gentlemen?
That consultation was done with the heads of school councils, and the school councils have two purposes. The first one is to improve students' achievement, and the other one is to make the education system more accountable to parents. Ooh. And when people were elected to the student councils, we didn't know that they would be reviewing curriculum for us and for our children. And so instead of making it more accountable, the process is actually, if that is the only consultation, it's made the education system less accountable to parents.
Yeah, because I mean, as a parent, I have not seen any literature come to my home as a parent of a child in grade 3. I know he'll be affected by this. I've not seen anything come to my home. It's definitely made me want to be a part of my parent council more in my school. But yeah, where is the communication, Monty?
Well, I don't think that's meaningful consultation when essentially the government handpicks one parent from every school. I think this should be opened up for the millions of parents out there to be involved. This is a very serious matter. And as I said in the beginning, I mean, I'm a parent. I know what it's like when the government's not respecting parents, and we're seeing that happen now.
Now, go ahead, Rick, you were going to say.
You know, as parents, we want to know what the province is planning to teach our children about sex education, and we should ask the education minister, Lynn Sandals, and we should be asking our local MPPs. We should, as parents, be making appointments, filling up their calendars, and going in and asking them, you know, we want to be part of the process. We want to know what you're going to teach our children. We want to have meaningful input because it's a public education system. It belongs to all of us, and it needs to work for all of us.
So you're saying not just write a letter, but make a physical appointment with your MPP.
That's right. Politicians pay attention to what takes more effort on your behalf. If you take the time and the effort to go in and see them, they know that it's an issue that you care very deeply about.
This is not just an Ontario issue. I know in the past I've covered the similar issue in New Brunswick. Now, Rick, I know the EFC covers Canada-wide, not just provincial issues. But how have you seen maybe similar cases like this? And even talking about the issue of opting out, which is something we'll talk a little bit more about, the option that parents have of pulling their child out of the class. But how have you seen this throughout our country?
There are other court cases that are in the works right now. In Quebec, there was a provincial religion curriculum, and there are several cases. One, the Loyola case, we're expecting a decision any time now. And this is where schools, private Christian schools, are asking just for the right to teach a religion curriculum from the perspective that Christianity is true. And right now, the Quebec government is saying, no, you can't do that. And so EFC intervened in that case. We've intervened in others. We'll be intervening in other cases like this, dealing with the Trinity Western case, which is another very important case. But certainly education is a real battleground for parents and for schools and for religious rights generally right now.
Opting out, as I just alluded to, is another issue that many parents will probably consider if this curriculum is as controversial as many have thought that it will be. Talk to me, Monte, about what parents are saying. Are they thinking about opting their child out? And when we mean opting out, we mean actually pulling your child from that portion of the class.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is something that parents are considering. They're worried, of course, because they don't know what's in this sex education curriculum. I just wanted to reiterate something that Rick said that's very important. I encourage all the viewers here to contact their MPPs. I think that's where we first have to put some pressure. And then secondly, I think that we saw what happened in the past when parents got together and demanded that the government revisit this. And of course, I'm speaking of 2010, when only after 3 days of the sex education proposal being public, then Premier Dalton McGuinty pulled the plug. Of course, it's a different Premier now in Kathleen Wynne. And, but I do think that, like Rick said, people need to contact their MPP.
You know, I hope that we can work constructively with the province on this curriculum and that there'll be no need to exempt or to pull our kids out of classrooms. If it were to come to that, Premier Wynne, when she was education minister in 2008, wrote a letter that said that if there was a written request, parents would be able to excuse their kids from portions of the curriculum. So I hope that that is still the position of the provincial government now. But hopefully we won't get there. Hopefully there will be a meaningful consultation. Parents will be able to have meaningful input, and we will get a curriculum that works for all Ontarians, not just those with the majoritarian view.
Yeah. Now, when we're looking at action plans for our parents, you talked, Rick, about calling your MPP, making appointments, writing letters. Monte, what would you add to that? You also talked about contacting MPPs. What else can we do as parents?
Yeah, I think that secondly, to visit PAFE's website, Parents as First Educators. They've got a very effective petition going on right now with over 30,000 people, I believe, that have signed it. I also think that they just need to continue to put, parents need to continue to put pressure on political leaders within Ontario to know that parents are watching them.
And I think just one last thing, the Evangelical Fellowship of Canada has a paper called Hands Up, Identifying Parental Rights in the Education System. It's a free download on EFC's website. Before you go and talk to your MPP, learn about what your rights are, learn about what your rights are, what you can expect from your education system.
Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen, so much.
Thank you.
This is definitely an issue we want to stay on top of, and we'll be in contact with both of you as we get closer and closer to September 2015 and watch this curriculum. Thanks again.
Thanks.
Thank you.